Imagine losing power tonight. The air conditioner shuts off, the refrigerator goes silent, your phone is at 20%, and the one item your family needs most is already gone from Walmart shelves. This is happening across the country right now. Millions of Americans lost power during recent summer heat waves. Power grids are under more strain than ever before. Rolling blackout warnings have already been issued in multiple states this year, and when that happens, something predictable occurs. People rush to Walmart. Shelves empty out fast. Batteries, flashlights, bottled water gone within hours. But the smart shoppers, the ones already prepared, walk past all of that with a quiet sense of relief. In this video, I'll show you 12 Walmart items Americans are buying fast before the next major blackout catches people off guard. One of these items is under $10. Most people walk right past it without a second thought. But once you understand why it matters, you'll probably want to grab one today. And stick around for item number 2. It's something almost nobody talks about, but it might be the smartest blackout purchase on this entire list. Let's get started. Item 12. Bottled water. When the power goes out, your water heater stops working. In some homes, the water pump stops too, meaning no hot water and sometimes very little running water at all. Bottled water becomes your backup for drinking, cooking, and hygiene. Picture a hot July evening. The power has been out for 6 hours. A mother checks the water pitcher in the fridge. It's warm. She turns on the tap, barely a trickle. She wishes she'd grabbed a few extra cases last week. At Walmart, bottled water is usually near the front of the store or in the beverage aisle. A case typically runs around $4 to $6. One tip: keep at least 1 gallon per person, per day, for 3 days. Speaking of things people forget until it's too late, item 11 is something almost every household uses daily but rarely thinks about during an outage. Item 11. Paper products. During past outages, paper products were some of the first things to disappear. When the power goes out, plumbing can be affected too, and families tend to use more paper towels and toilet paper, especially with kids home all day. Picture a family losing power during a storm. The kids are home because traffic lights are out across town. Meals become simple sandwiches and snacks, more cleanup, more paper towels. By day 2, the spare roll is gone too. At Walmart, paper products are stocked in bulk packs, often under $10 for a basic multi-pack. One tip: keep one extra pack separate from your everyday supply so you're never caught without backup. Now, item 10 becomes incredibly valuable if the power stays out overnight. Item 10, battery-powered lanterns. Flashlights are great, but lanterns change the entire feel of a blackout. Instead of one narrow beam, a lantern fills a whole room with soft light. Picture an evening blackout. A grandmother tries to find her glasses, medication, and the remote using only her phone's flashlight. Now picture her instead with a battery lantern on the kitchen table. The room is lit. She moves around safely without feeling stuck in the dark. At Walmart, lanterns are usually in the camping section, near flashlights and batteries. Prices range from $10 to $20. One tip: keep one in the kitchen and one in a bedroom, so no matter where you are, you're not stumbling in the dark. Item 9 is something people don't think about until they desperately need it, usually in the middle of the night. Item 9. LED flashlights. Every home should have more than one flashlight in multiple rooms where people can actually find them in the dark. LED flashlights use very little battery power but stay bright for hours. Picture the power going out at night. Someone needs to check on a kid or use the bathroom, fumbling through a dark hallway. Now picture a flashlight on the nightstand instead. One click, and the hallway lights up. No stumbling, no stubbed toes. At Walmart, flashlights are near the batteries and camping gear, ranging from about $5 to $15. One tip: keep a flashlight in every bedroom, plus one by the front door. Now here's where things get more interesting, because the next item powers almost everything we've talked about. Item 8, batteries. All those flashlights and lanterns are useless without batteries. During past outages, batteries have been one of the very first things to vanish, not because stores ran low ahead of time, but because everyone needs them at the exact same moment. Picture a storm rolling through. The power goes out. A father reaches for the kitchen flashlight, clicks it on. Nothing. The batteries died months ago and were never replaced. Now he's standing in a dark kitchen with no backup anywhere in the house. At Walmart, batteries are in their own section near electronics or checkout, with multi-packs running about $8 to $15. One tip: buy in bulk and store them in a labeled container, separate from the batteries you use for remotes and toys. Now, the next item solves one of the biggest blackout problems most people don't think about until their phone dies. Item 7. Portable power banks your phone as your flashlight, your news source, your way of calling for help during a blackout. When it dies, you lose all of that at once. Gone. Picture this. Power goes out in the evening. Phones start at 60%. No problem, right? Hours pass. People use their phones more than usual, scrolling, checking for updates, texting family. By midnight, 10%. No way to charge them. That's when the anxiety sets in. That's when you realize you forgot. A portable power bank changes everything, gives your phone an extra full charge. Sometimes two. That's not convenience. That's a lifeline. At Walmart, these are in the electronics section, often starting around $15 to $25. Larger ones cost more, worth every penny. One tip: keep it charged at all times, not just when an outage is expected, not the night before a storm, always, because blackouts don't send invitations, they just show up. Look, is this glamorous? No. Is anyone going to compliment your power bank at a dinner party? Absolutely not. But when your phone is at 4% and there's no power for 2 days, that $15 brick in your drawer becomes the most valuable thing you own. We're halfway through this list, but the most important items are still ahead. One of the biggest blackout mistakes is assuming the basics are enough, assuming a flashlight and some candles will get you through, and skipping right past what's coming next. Don't be that person. Item 6. Battery-operated fans. When the power goes out in summer, heat becomes the real problem, not hunger, not boredom, heat, especially for older adults. Extreme heat affects them more than younger people. That's not an opinion, that's physiology. Picture an elderly couple sitting in their living room during a long outage. The house feels like an oven. No AC, no ceiling fans, nothing. They're using paper fans, folding them back and forth. It's not enough. Sweat on their foreheads, restless sleep, unnecessary suffering. Now picture them with a battery-operated fan nearby, moving air through the room, making the heat bearable, making it safe. That's not comfort, that's protection. At Walmart, these are in the seasonal section in summer, or near camping gear, ranging from $10 to $25. That's the price of 2 pizzas, for something that could keep your grandparents safe during a blackout. One tip: place the fan near a window or doorway, helps create airflow without central air. Even a small breeze changes everything in a stagnant room. Is this going to cool your whole house? No, don't be ridiculous. But will it make one room livable? Yes. Will it help an older adult sleep through a hot night without power? Also yes. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes that's everything. The next item ties directly into staying cool, and it might be one of the most overlooked tricks on this list. You probably already own one, you just haven't thought of using it this way. Item 5. Coolers. Most people think of coolers for camping or the beach, tailgates and backyard parties, but during a blackout, a cooler becomes your backup refrigerator. That's not a hack. That's survival logistics. Picture the power out for several hours. The fridge is warming up, milk, meat, leftovers are at risk. You open the door, cold air spills out. Every time you check, you make it worse. Without a plan, that food gets thrown away. Hundreds of dollars. Straight into the trash. Now picture a family who, the moment they get a blackout warning, moves their perishables into a cooler with ice or frozen water bottles. Their food stays cold for hours longer, sometimes an entire day longer. That's not luck, that's preparation. At Walmart, coolers are in the camping or sporting goods section, from around $15 for smaller ones to $50 or more for larger ones. $15 to save your groceries. That math works. One tip: keep a few water bottles frozen at all times. Not some of the time, all the time. They go straight into a cooler, and here's the bonus: as they melt, you get drinking water too. 2 problems, 1 solution. Is this a permanent replacement for your fridge? No, but will it buy you time during a short outage? Yes, will it save you from eating room temperature chicken that's been sitting for 6 hours? Also, yes. That's food safety. That's money in your pocket. That's a perfect lead into something worth sharing next. Something experienced preppers quietly do, and most people never even think about. Before we get to the final items, here's something experienced preppers quietly do before a blackout. It's simple, it's inexpensive, and most people never think about it. They keep their freezer as full as possible, even with things they don't plan to eat right away. Why? A full freezer stays cold much longer than an empty one. Empty freezers lose cold air every time you open them. Full freezers? The frozen food acts as thermal mass, ice cubes in a block instead of scattered. Some fill empty space with containers of water, old milk jugs, plastic bottles. Anything, once frozen, these blocks do double duty. 1, keeping the freezer cold longer. 2, ready to move into a cooler if needed. That's not hoarding, that's engineering. Another quiet trick: solar-powered garden lights, the kind you'd see along a walkway, the cheap ones. During the day, they soak up sunlight, just sitting there, doing nothing. At night, if the power goes out, bring them inside. Place them in a glass or a jar. Soft glow. No batteries required, no fuel needed, just sunlight you captured hours ago. That's the difference between panicking and being fine. It's not about buying expensive gear, it's about seeing everyday objects differently. A garden light becomes a lantern. A frozen water bottle becomes a cooling brick. A full freezer becomes a battery. Now, the final 3 items. One of them is the item I teased at the very beginning, the one most families completely overlook, the one that changes everything when you finally understand it. Let's go. Item 4. Portable LED rechargeable lights. These are a step up from basic flashlights. A big step. You don't need to keep buying batteries. Just charge them and use them again, and again, and again. That's not a feature. That's freedom. Picture a family 2 days into an outage. Flashlight batteries are running low. Lanterns are dimming. The nearest store with batteries? Packed with people looking for the exact same thing. Shelves empty. Arguments in the parking lot. No luck. Now picture them having charged a couple of rechargeable LED lights beforehand, using a power bank or a car charger. Ready to go. No batteries needed, no store, no lines, no stress. At Walmart, these are near other lighting and electronics, ranging from $15 to $30. That's one dinner out, for light that lasts for years. One tip: keep these fully charged and stored somewhere easy to grab. A kitchen drawer, a hall closet, not buried in the garage behind the Christmas decorations. When the power goes out, you want light in 30 seconds, not 30 minutes. Is this brighter than a $100 tactical for $15 to $30? That's peace of mind you can hold in your hand. And unlike battery-powered lights, these don't leave you stranded when the store runs out of AAs. Item 3 solves a problem most people don't think about, until they're standing in the dark holding a phone with 5% battery and no way to know what's happening outside. Item 3. Emergency radios during a blackout. Information becomes harder to get than people expect. No internet, no TV, no social media scrolling for updates. And if your phone dies, no updates at all. You're cut off. Completely, that's not inconvenient. That's dangerous. Emergency radios run on batteries, and many include hand crank or solar charging too. Meaning, even if you forgot to charge it, even if the batteries are dead, you can crank it by hand for a few minutes and get information. That's not a gadget, that's a lifeline. Picture a severe storm overnight. A retired couple sits with nearly dead phones. No way to get updates. No idea if the roads are closed. No idea if help is coming. No idea how long the outage will last. That's not just uncomfortable, that's terrifying. Now picture them with a small emergency radio on the counter, turning it on for local news and weather, even with the power out, even with dead phones, even with no internet. They know what's happening. They know when it's safe. They know when to stay put and when to leave. At Walmart, these are in electronics or near camping gear, ranging from $20 to $40. That's less than a dinner for 2, for your connection to the outside world when everything else is dark. One tip, look for a model with a phone charging port. Even a slow trickle charge helps. That way, even if your power bank runs out, you're not stuck. Your radio becomes your backup charger too. Item 2 is the one I've been teasing since the beginning. The one most families completely overlook, and the one that changes everything when the power goes out for more than a few hours. Item 2, propane camp stoves. Here it is, the item most families completely overlook. Every single time. And I don't know why. When the power goes out, electric stoves stop working entirely. That's obvious. But here's what people don't realize. Many gas stoves with electric ignition won't light either. The gas is there, the fuel is ready. But the spark won't happen. No power, no spark, no flame. That means no hot meals, no boiling water, no coffee, no tea, no warm soup on a cold night, nothing hot, nothing comforting, just cold sandwiches from the pantry. Day 1, fine. Day 2, you're miserable. Day 3, you're angry at yourself for not preparing. Picture a family a day into an outage, eating cold sandwiches, cold cereal, room temperature peanut butter. Then someone remembers an old propane camp stove in the garage, dusty, forgotten, but there. Suddenly, they can boil water, heat soup, make coffee, cook pasta. A warm meal brings back a sense of normalcy. That's not food, that's morale. At Walmart, these are in the camping section. The stove itself runs $20 to $40. Propane canisters? Just a few dollars each. That's the price of a pizza, for the ability to cook when your kitchen is useless. One tip, always store a couple of extra canisters with your stove, in an easy-to-reach spot. The stove is useless without fuel. Don't be the person who finds the stove but can't find the propane. That's a special kind of disappointment. Now, the final item on this list. If you only buy one thing from Walmart this week to prepare for a blackout, this is the one to consider. It brings everything together. Item 1, battery-powered LED lantern and radio combo units. This final item brings together almost everything we've talked about, all in one device. One purchase. One place to find it when the lights go out. These combo units typically include a bright LED lantern, a built-in radio, and a charging port for your phone. Some models include hand crank or solar charging too. That's 3 critical functions. One box. No hunting for different devices in the dark. Think back to everything we've covered. Light, so you're not stumbling around in the dark. A radio, so you're not cut off from information. A way to charge your phone, so you can stay in touch with family. Now imagine all of that in one device. Sitting on your kitchen counter, ready waiting. Picture a storm knocking out power to a neighborhood overnight. One family reaches for their combo unit. Instantly, their kitchen is lit. The radio gives them weather updates. Their phone stays charged. Meanwhile, their neighbors are digging through drawers for flashlights, finding dead batteries, arguing about who moved the candles. At Walmart, these are in the camping or emergency prep section, near radios and lanterns, ranging from $25 to $50. That's one tank of gas, for a device that could work for years. One final tip. Keep this unit fully charged at all times, not before a storm, always, and place it somewhere central. The kitchen, the living room, somewhere everyone in the family knows where to find it. No searching, no shouting, just grab and go. If you only buy one thing from Walmart this week to prepare for a blackout, make it this one. Light, information, communication, all in one place. And that combination? Comfort, safety, and connection to your family. That's really what preparedness is all about. So there you have it. 12 items from Walmart that families across the country are quietly picking up before the next blackout hits. None of these are extreme. None require a bunker or a basement full of supplies. They're simple, affordable items that solve real problems. Light when it's dark, cool when it's hot, communication when you feel cut off, and food when you're hungry. Preparedness isn't about panic. It's about peace of mind. A few small purchases today can save you a lot of stress later, and maybe even save you a trip to a crowded store during the next outage. If you know someone who always waits until the power goes out before preparing, send them this video. It might just save them a stressful night. In future videos, we'll cover more blackout supplies, more Walmart preparedness shopping tips, emergency food ideas, and how to stay ready for whatever this summer brings. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next video.